Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Aiwo.
Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. You know how much we all love a good customer complaint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The gift that keeps on giving.
But what if I told you those complaints could actually be turned into profit?
Oh, sign me up.
We're diving into the world of customer contact intelligence today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds fancy.
It is. And we've got a mountain of intel here from Aiwo, a company that's using AI to analyze customer interactions.
AI always makes things more interesting.
Right. So they're looking at things like emails, calls, chats, the whole shebang.
So they're like detectives of customer service.
Exactly. And they're trying to pinpoint the reasons behind all those unnecessary customer contacts.
Those are the worst. You know when you have to call back multiple times for the same issue?
Ugh, don't remind me. So before we get lost in the data, let's back up a bit.
Yeah.
What exactly is customer contact intelligence?
Basically, it's all about using data to understand why your customers are contacting you. What are the patterns? What are the drivers of those interactions?
Okay, so it's like looking for the story behind the complaints.
Yeah, and Aiwo takes it a step further with this concept of failure demand.
Failure demand. That sounds kind of scary.
It's not as bad as it sounds. It's basically demand that's caused by a failure to do something right the first time.
Okay, so like when my internet goes out every other day and I'm constantly calling my provider.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. So Aiwo's AI can analyze all those customer contacts and pinpoint the operational issues that are causing those repeat contacts.
So instead of just reacting to complaints, you're figuring out how to prevent them in the first place.
Right. And think about the cost savings.
Yeah, I bet that adds up quickly.
Aiwo's materials say that depending on the industry, unnecessary contacts can make up anywhere from 40% to over 70% of all customer interactions.
Wow, 70%? That's a huge chunk of change.
It is. It's a massive opportunity for businesses to improve their efficiency and their bottom line.
So it's not just about saving money on customer service,
Yeah.
It's about using those interactions to make better decisions across the entire company.
Exactly. It's about understanding the customer journey from start to finish.
Okay, but all this data sounds a bit overwhelming. Do you need a team of data scientists to make sense of it all?
Not necessarily. One of the things that stood out to me about Aiwo is their focus on accessibility. They have a user-friendly dashboard, pre-built integrations with popular CRM and support systems.
So even smaller companies without a dedicated tech team can use this.
Right. They claim that deployment can be done within a week.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the big question, data privacy.
Yeah.
This seems like it involves a lot of sensitive customer information.
You're right. That's a crucial question. And thankfully, Aiwo seems to be taking it seriously. They're GDPR compliant, and they say that all data is stored in customer-specific tenants in specified regions.
So they're not just throwing all the data into one big pot.
Nope. They're being very careful about where and how that data is stored. They even mentioned Europe for European customers, Australia for Australian and Southeast Asian customers, and the US for North and South American customers.
Okay, that's good to hear. But all this sounds incredibly promising. Do they have any actual success stories to back up their claims?
They do. And some of them are pretty impressive.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah. They've got a case study with MTV. And get this, they saw a 6-figure increase in profit.
No way. 6 figures. Just from reducing customer contacts.
Yep. It's pretty wild, right?
They-
They basically turned customer service into a profit center.
That's the dream, isn't it? I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Right. And it shows you the power of this approach. It's not just about making your customers happier. It's about making your business more efficient and profitable.
So it's like a win-win for everyone.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this technology. It's not just about fixing problems. It's about creating new opportunities.
Okay, so we've seen the big picture, but what about some specifics? Did they have any quotes from actual customers?
Oh, yeah. They had a great quote from Marika Ilmala, head of customer service operations at Ensign Palvelut Oy.
What did she say?
She said that the data from Aiwo was very important to us and reinforced the observations our customer team had already made.
So it's not just some theoretical concept, it's actually working in the real world.
That's right. And they had another great testimonial from Ian Golding, a certified customer experience professional.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. He's kind of a big deal in the customer experience world.
Yeah, he is. And he called Aiwo an incredible innovation to enable organizations to identify and highlight opportunities to eliminate unnecessary customer interaction.
Wow, that's high praise coming from him.
It is. It really shows you how much potential this technology has.
This is all pretty mind-blowing.
Mhm.
But it makes you wonder how much time and money are WE wasting on unnecessary contacts in our own lives.
Ooh, that's a good question. I bet it's more than we realize.
Think about all those hours spent on hold getting transferred from one department to another, repeating the same information over and over again.
Ugh, it's enough to make you pull your hair out.
Right. And those automated phone systems that make you jump through hoops just to talk to a real person.
Don't even get me started on those. But the thing is, we don't have to just accept this as the norm.
So what can we do about it?
Well, the first step is to understand the problem. Like we talked about with Aiwo, identifying the root causes of those unnecessary contacts is crucial.
So instead of just complaining about it, we need to figure out why it's happening in the first place.
Exactly. And then we can start to brainstorm solutions, whether it's streamlining processes, improving communication, or just being more mindful of how we interact with businesses.
So it's about taking a more proactive approach rather than just reacting to problems as they come up.
Right. And that's where the real power lies. Shifting from reactive to proactive can make a huge difference in our lives, both personally and professionally.
And that's what Aiwo is all about.
Yeah.
Right, using data to empower businesses to be more proactive and customer-centric.
Exactly. And that's a win for everyone. It makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? If businesses can benefit from this kind of approach, what about us as individuals?
Yeah. Could we use these principles to improve our personal relationships and stuff?
Absolutely. Think about those arguments you have with your partner. You know, the ones that keep coming up over and over again.
Oh yeah, we all have those.
Or how about trying to schedule something with a group of friends?
Group chats are a nightmare.
Exactly. So what if we applied that failure demand idea to these situations?
Like try to figure out why we're having these communication breakdowns in the first place.
Exactly. Instead of just getting frustrated and blaming each other, we could take a step back and try to understand the root cause.
So it's like being more mindful of our communication and trying to see things from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, basically. It's about using empathy and understanding to build stronger relationships.
It's funny because we're so used to thinking about these concepts in a business context,
Yeah.
but they really do apply to our personal lives too.
For sure. It's a good reminder that even with all this technology, the human element is still so important.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive, I have to say.
Me too. It's really got me thinking about how we can use data to improve all aspects of our lives.
Yeah, it's not just about making businesses more profitable. It's about creating a better experience for everyone.
That's a great way to put it. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, making the world a little bit better, one interaction at a time.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of customer contact intelligence. We hope you've learned a thing or two about turning those complaints into profits.
And maybe even improving your own personal relationships along the way.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and keep diving deep.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.